if you can't eventually forgive somebody, then you hurt yourself, I think, right? And I don't want to live my life hurting myself.
You talk about needing to forgive for yourself because you don't want to live in that place. Have you forgiven your ex-husband?
Melinda French Gates is sharing some insight into her relationship with ex-husband Bill Gates and the long road to forgiveness following their 2021 divorce. In a new episode of NPR's Wildcard podcast, released in full on February 5th, the billionaire philanthropist spoke about what age has taught her about love, including the importance of absolute trust in relationships and whether she has been able to trust again following the breakup of her marriage.
I thought it might never happen again for me. And that was okay too. Like, I trusted myself though. And if you trust yourself and you love yourself, I have lots of friends, male, female, kids. I thought I was going to live my life possibly by myself, but with all those amazing people in my life. So I didn't know if I would ever trust again, right? But I have learned that with the right person, you can. And it's baby steps at first, and you build on that, and you see it, and you test it, and then you can find it.
The conversation then turned to the topic of forgiveness, with Melinda noting she considers herself to be good at forgiving, though she has learned that it can, quote, take a long time and you can't rush it. But ultimately, the 61-year-old says she always seeks to forgive others.
I really seek forgiveness with everybody, because if you can't eventually forgive somebody, then you hurt yourself, I think, right? And I don't want to live my life hurting myself.
When asked directly whether she had forgiven her ex-husband, Melinda was hesitant to share too many details, but said she's, quote, getting there.
Have you forgiven your ex-husband?
I think I'm going to keep that one to myself. That's a work in progress.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting there.
Earlier in the episode, Melinda responded to news that Bill had been referenced in various documents within newly released files related to Jeffrey Epstein, stating the details of the case brought her unbelievable sadness.
And I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in D.C., what they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
Melinda also called for accountability from those with alleged ties to Epstein.
So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
The Department of Justice's latest release of documents includes emails dated July 2013, in which Epstein appears to address Bill and suggests he assisted the Microsoft co-founder in procuring drugs to, quote, deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls and to facilitate trysts with married women. In a separate email, Epstein alleged that Bill had requested he delete emails regarding a sexually transmitted infection and asked for antibiotics to, quote, surreptitiously give to Melinda. However, it is unclear if these emails were ever sent to Bill, and the 70-year-old has not been accused of any crimes or wrongdoing related to Epstein. A spokesperson for Bill blasted the allegations, calling them absolutely absurd and completely false. Bill himself also spoke out in an interview with 9 News Australia, denying the claims within the emails while also sharing remorse for the time he did spend with the disgraced financier.
Apparently, Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. Was he trying to attack me in some way? But, it just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that.